practicing witch, right? You are actually a practicing witch, right?
That is correct.
What does Halloween mean to witches? And is there something significantly spiritual about Halloween?
Yes, truly. Samhain, the original holiday celebrated by the Gauls, the Celtic people that ruled over most of Europe. You would actually celebrate by honoring the fallen dead who would come back to your home at this point to check in on you. You would leave offerings for these passed on loved ones, and that's what became the Samhain tradition. In fact, even dressing up is part of that same ritual, where if you give the appropriate tidings to your lost loved ones and your ancestors, you actually receive what you have dressed as. So you personify different aspects into your life, and that is what your costume is actually supposed to represent.
Whatever you dress up as, you're receiving like from what you're dressed as.
Yes,
Wow.
that's one of the original intentions.
Is there anything like spiritual about carving a pumpkin? Is there something like
So that is the warding to the negative spirits, creating that jack-o'-lantern, that scary face. If you actually look up original turnip jack-o'-lanterns, they're terrifying.
he was passionate about talking about how spiritual Halloween is? If you can't take it from a Christian saying it's satanic, at least take it from a witch. You are actually a practicing witch, right?
That is correct.
What does
Shalom.
Halloween
First and
mean to
foremost,
witches?
I
And
give
is
all
there
praises,
something
honor, and
significantly
glory to Yahweh,
spiritual
Bashem,
about
Yahweh,
Halloween?
Yes, truly. Samhain, the
Double
original
honesty,
holiday
awesome,
celebrated by the
elders,
Gauls, the
well
Celtic
into
people
truth,
that ruled over
all
most
honesty
of
and
Europe.
sincerity.
You would actually
Pay
celebrate
attention to
by
brothers around the
honoring
four
the
corners of
fallen
earth,
dead
which is
who
truth,
would
well,
come
honesty
back
and sincerity.
to your home at
Great
this point to
diligence,
check
work
in
of
on you.
Israel.
You would leave offerings for these
Shalom
passed
to you,
on loved
Akim.
ones, and
They
that's
come looking
what
like the
became
heathen,
the
but you
Samhain
want that other
tradition. In
stock of
fact,
Israel,
even
and you know
dressing
that
up
here
is part
is
of that
truth,
same
follow the laws,
ritual,
statutes,
where if you
commandments,
give the
and best of your
appropriate
abilities, wherever they may
tidings
be scattered.
to your lost loved
Shalom to
ones
the
and your
feet and to
ancestors,
Aquatim.
you actually
And listen
receive
and learn in
what
silence
you
when
have
your
dressed
creation,
as.
Lord, commanded
So
you
you
to, which
personify
is in all
different
subjection, reverencing
aspects
your
into your
husbands.
life, and that is what your
It's
costume
your
is
brother
actually
off in
supposed to
Jim St.
represent.
Louis,
Whatever you dress
and
up as,
just
you're
had
receiving
this
like
Yes.
from what you're
wicked
dressed
ass
as.
Yes,
Wow.
that's one of the original
holiday
intentions.
Halloween,
Is there anything like
which is
spiritual
rooted
about carving a
in
pumpkin?
nothing
Is there something like
but
Yes.
wickedness, man.
So that
You see all
is
these
the warding to the
adults
negative spirits, creating
really
that
has become
jack-o'-lantern, that scary
a
face.
freak
If you
show.
actually look up
You know,
original
women with
turnip
their
jack-o'-lanterns,
bodies
they're terrifying.
exposed.
he was passionate
You know,
about talking about how spiritual Halloween
say
is?
they,
If you can't take it from a
you know,
Christian
oh, I'm
saying
just doing
it's
it for the
satanic,
children.
at least take it from a
That's all
witch.
the more
You are
reason
actually
not
a
to
practicing witch, right?
participate
That is correct.
and
What
give
does
any
Halloween
energy
mean to witches? And
to-
is
to-
there
to-
something
to,
significantly
evilness.
spiritual about Halloween?
Yes, truly.
You
Samhain,
know,
the
you
original
hurt.
holiday celebrated by the Gauls, the Celtic
You
people
dress up
that
as
ruled
you-
over
you
most of
receive that
Europe.
energy.
You would actually celebrate by
drawing
honoring
that
the fallen
to
dead
yourself,
who
man.
would come back to your home at this point to check
And
in on
as
you. You would leave
Israelites,
offerings
we
for these
shouldn't be
passed on
doing
loved ones,
anything,
and that's what became the Samhain
celebrating
tradition. In fact,
anything,
even dressing up is part
but
of that
the
same
holy
ritual,
days, man.
where if you give the
The
appropriate
Lord gave us
tidings
holy days to
to your
celebrate.
lost loved ones and your
These heathens,
ancestors, you actually receive
made
what
up
you have dressed
holidays.
as. So you personify different aspects
We're
into your
not
life,
to
and that is what your costume is
be
actually
like
supposed to
these people,
represent.
man.
Whatever you dress up as,
We
you're
have our own
receiving
way to
like
live, man.
from what you're dressed
We are
as.
to abstain
Wow.
That's
from,
one of the
from
original
all
intentions.
evil,
Is
man.
there anything like spiritual about carving a
This
pumpkin?
is no
Is there
joke,
something
man.
like
Yes.
This is the
So
time of the
that
year
is
where a lot of
the warding to the
children
negative spirits,
are
creating that jack-o'-lantern,
taken
that scary
sacrifice.
face.
A
If
lot
you
of
actually
people
look up
sacrifice,
original turnip
you know.
jack-o'-lanterns, they're terrifying.
he was passionate
it's
about
nothing
talking
good,
about
and
how
it's nothing
spiritual
good
Halloween
about
is? If you
participating
can't
on
take it
this
from a
day.
Christian saying it's satanic, at least take it from a witch.
This is Leviticus 23, and I'll start at verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. 6 days shalt thou work. 6 days like it shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. Now the Sabbath changes every month, and it's based off of the new moon. The moon cycle is how you tell when the new month comes in. Verse 4, these are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation, ye shall do no servile work therein. And we understand that we behind enemy lines, so we have to do the best that we can as far as not working on the Sabbath. Sometimes it's gonna happen. We're not in our own land to keep our laws. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days. In the 7th day is a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. But we have our own feast days, man. Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, first fruits. We and you can go through Leviticus 23 and read all the feast days, all the holy days, that we were given unto that we were given by the Heavenly Father, man. So, we have the Day of Atonement, where you afflict your soul. You do a dry fast, no food, no drink. We have our own holy days, man. These heathens copy off of us and made holidays. Why? Because the Lord wasn't dealing with them. So it's silly of us to partake in these holidays that are for the heathens. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13, and verse 6. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee, secretly saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely, of the gods of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee, or far off from thee, from the one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thine eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely unalive him. Thine hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people. And thou shalt stone him with stones, that he die, because he hath sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you. You see? So the Lord is hey, you supposed to put this away from Israel. You just read what the protocol is if somebody come and entice to serve another God. And this Halloween, this is giving energy to these false gods, man. It's wickedness. Even these churches try to switch it up and do a trunk or treat. You still giving energy to this holiday, man. You're still dressing up as characters and receiving these the the energy of these spirits. It's wickedness, man. Not to mention, the lewdness now that comes with this day. Everybody outside just damn near naked. Let's go to the book of Exodus 22 in verse 18. Um, this is Exodus 22 and 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Whosoever lieth with a beast shall surely be put to death. He that sacrificeth unto any god, save unto the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed. You see, witchcraft is not permitted, bestiality is not permitted, and giving sacrifice to other gods, man. You bring in destruction to yourself, man. It's not a it's not some innocent thing. You see the judgment for these things. And what does this day invoke? All this manner of wickedness and evil, man. Sacrificing, man. Rituals, man. Celebrating gore, death, blood, evil, the dead. Heard it from the mouth of a warlock himself. A warlock is a male witch. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 24. In verse 5. Salakia. And it reads, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. You see, and look at this place is gonna be utterly burnt, man. Because in this place, in the West, America, aka Babylon the Great, or the daughter of Babylon, the great whore, all manner of lewdness and wickedness, witchcraft, evilness, it's permitted here. It's permitted here. You can do it here. They say this is the land of the free, home of the brave. The only thing you're free to do is commit moral wickedness. You know? See. This is Leviticus 18. And in this chapter, it goes into how we are not to do as the heathens, man, mainly the Egyptians and what they were doing. And it gives you a rundown of people who you're not supposed to see naked, man. You're not supposed to lie with them. And then it jumps down to other laws, man. Not to defile yourself. This is Leviticus 18 and 24. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. And the land is defiled, therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it. And the land itself vomited out her inhabitants. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations. And abomination is the things the Lord hates. Neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you. For all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. That the land spew not you out also when ye defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you, Salakia. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the souls that commit them, shall be cut off from among the people. Therefore shall ye keep mine ordinance, that ye commit not any of these abominable customs which were committed before you, and that ye defile not yourselves therein. I am the Lord your power. You see, this is who we ought to obey, man. The Heavenly Father, because He is the one who determines, our well-being or our detriment. This is Deuteronomy 18:9. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abomination of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire. And this is, this making them dress up as Halloween, man. They're giving energy and participating in wickedness. Now, in the ancient days, they would, actually sacrifice their children in fire, man. Now you have abortion. Now you have, other ways that they do, man. They teach their children to do wickedness, or that use it divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch. You see, and celebrating this Halloween is witchcraft, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. And you see this, the warlock that we listened to earlier in the video. He said that when you put on these costumes, you become that. You channel that energy to yourself. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord, and because of these abominations, the Lord thy power doth drive them out from before thee. You see? Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy power, for these nations which thou shalt possess hearken unto observer of times, and unto diviners, or diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy power hath not suffered thee so to do. The Lord thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken. You see? So you're supposed to listen to those prophets on the highways and byways, man, that are teaching the sound doctrine. It's just safe to listen to Great Millstone and those that teach the same doctrine, man. Because this place is about to get judged, man. This place is about to get judged, man. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. This is Proverbs 2 and verse 6, and I'll read down. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. He keepeth the paths of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints. Then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, which is your mind, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. See, people that's out here going from place to house, knocking on doors, trying to get some candy, you don't have any understanding, man. I just saw a video of a father opening up the candy, and it was needles in the damn candy, in the Snickers. What how can you be surprised when this is a day dedicated to evil and darkness and wickedness, man? When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things, who leave the path of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil. And these people was, man, I was looking out my window, and it's laughing and snickling and giggling, and you know, it was vexing to me. So I'm like, this shit need to hurry up and be over with. You're blocking my driveway. You know, when you start to understand things, and the Lord um, shows you things, and you figure out the truth, you come into this truth. You detest these things, man. The ways of the world. You abhor these things. Who rejoice to do evil and delight in the frowardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked, and they forward in their paths. You know, yeah, these people take pleasure in doing this wickedness, and it's going to be to their detriment, man. This is not a day of something good. This day is dedicated to darkness, man. And you see, the days is shorter and the nights are longer. Yeah, this is the time that the wicked really get active. And as Israelites, we have no business partaking in these things. Just like they have no business partaking, in our feast days, our holy days, in our solemn assemblies. Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians. 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? Right. So what business do we have to be partaking in these evil ass holidays with the heathens, when the Lord made us special and above these nations, man? He separated us, made us holy. We know that, our righteousness is as filthy rags, but compared to the heathens, man, we're we're far better. And we are supposed to preserve our ways, man, for the Lord to have mercy on us. And we be not caught up in this judgment that's soon to hit the earth. And what concord hath Hamashiach with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? You know? And what agreement hath the temple of Yahweh with idols? Right, we're the temple. The Israelites, man, the 12 tribes make up the temple, man. So what, agreement had the temple of Yahweh with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power. As Yahweh hath said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people. Talking about the Israelites, man. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. And I will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty. He didn't tell that to any old people. He talking to the Israelites, man. And this was told to the Israelites that were scattered among the heathens, man. To the church of Corinth. Like we're to be better than these heathens, man. We should have no fellowship in what the world does, man. That's the reasons we was getting judged, man. Captivity after captivity, trying to be like this fucking heathens, man. This is Psalms 5 and 4. For thou art not a power that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. You see, the Lord don't have pleasure in wickedness, man. And this is a damn day of wickedness. So it's not a light thing to be partaking in this wicked ass day. And you see, the church, they not about shit. They have celebrations for these damn holidays, man. So how sanctified are they? Let's go to the book of Matthew. 15 and 19. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, theft, false witness, blasphemy. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashen hands defileth not a man. But these things that were mentioned in verse 19 are a lot of things that go down in, especially this time of year, is dedicated to these days, man. A bunch of lewdness, man. You see these people out walking, man, he's trailing at the back. You got the children, you got the wife, she's half naked, cheeks out and meat out. These adult uh, parties, you know, these people be going to, on the Diddy side of the game. I just I just overheard a woman say that she was dressed up in a costume and said she just left an adult Halloween party, dressed all exposed. So you know what type of stuff was going down in there, man. It's nothing but lewdness, wickedness, just debauchery, man. Matter of fact, I got a few more and I'll end it off. Salakia. Go to First Thessalonians chapter 5 and I'll start at verse 18. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yahweh and Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah, concerning you. Quench not the spirit, despise not prophesying, prove all things, hold fast that which is good, abstain from all appearance of evil. And today, yesterday was a day of evil, man. And the very power of peace sanctify you wholly. And I pray, Yahweh, your whole spirit and soul and body be preserved blameless until the coming of our Lord, Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. You see, we're supposed to abstain from all appearances of evil, which means not partaking in these evil things. This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 20. Matter of fact, start at 18. Behold, Israel after the flesh, are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything? But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, and not to Yahweh. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. You see? Ye cannot drink of the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy, or are we stronger than he? And the answer is no. That's a rhetorical question. The answer is no. You see? So, these holidays that the heathens celebrate, they're celebrating it and sacrificing to devils, man. So it's Revelations chapter 18. And matter of fact, I'll read it from the top. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, saying, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils. America is Babylon the great, man. And the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Yeah, through the ignorance and the captivity of the Israelites. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Who is that? The Israelites, man. That ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. You see? For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. See? So this place is going to get judged, man. And the scriptures is telling us, don't be partakers in their sins of this place, so that we don't be receive the plagues that's coming to this place, man. Right now, the 2/3 is being caught up in these ice raids. You know, you may think that the things that are permitted to do here is so innocent, but in the eyes of the Lord, it's not, man. And He's gonna send a judgment. Hope this has been an edifying lesson. I'm gonna say Kwam Yasharala, Shalom, and the Bible Ball.